studied music in 6th grade of middle school, meaning I played 8 years. I love music, and I believe it is an essential part of life. Title of the speaker's speech, Say Hello to My Little Friend. Please let me welcome Mr. Luis Sarmiento.
Yeah, just leave it there. Fortissimo, piano, staccato. Those are just a few musical terms. Fortissimo meaning loud, as some of you may have assumed. Piano meaning soft. And staccato meaning short and brief. Now that is the language of music. I actually wrote a couple of notes for you guys. Notes. Now for those of you who don't know, again, these aren't notes as in a note you left for your wife telling her that there's no milk in the fridge. These are musical notes. And they can be played by a guitar, a piano, a harp, a horn, any instrument, you name it, that can play notes. I, for one, speak 3 languages: English, Spanish, and music, which I believe is the language of the soul. Now, specifically, I play in one type of instrument, which is where I introduce my little friend. The instrument I play is known as the trumpet, which you can see right here. Now, this trumpet is very, very special to me, which is why I won't put it on the lectern in case it falls. Why is it special to me? Well, let's talk about what it is first of all. A trumpet, just like any other musical instrument, falls in a category, or you may call it a family. Now, every instrument, like I said, plays notes. How do they play notes? How do they create sounds? Even the voice is an instrument. It uses vibrations of vocal cords. What this means is that any musical instrument needs to be able to cause vibrations. That's the essence of music, scientifically. All sound waves, as some of you may know, are just vibrations in air, waves. To cause these vibrations, you have to make something vibrate. You have to make an object vibrate, your vocal cords vibrate. Hit a drum head, and if you may have noticed, the drum head will bounce up and down. That is how music is made. The reason I use quotations is because that's not all there is to it. My horn specifically falls under the winds category, which means wind, or an aerophone, is what is necessary for it to work. In the winds category, there are 2 separate families: the woodwinds and the brass. I'm not going to talk about the woodwinds. I'm going to talk about the best, the brass. Now, in the brass, there are many instruments. There's what we call our cousin, the trombone, our big cousin, the tuba, which is an instrument around this size, and a couple of other little instruments. But my personal favorite is the trumpet. The trumpet itself is made of brass, just like the other ones, and brass is an alloy, or a mix of metals, which is made of copper and tin, making it good for resonation because of its vibration abilities, and still sturdy, so that it can actually retain some of its tone. Tone is just pretty much the difference between ah and ah. Simple as that. The trumpet is composed of tubings from which the air is going to flow. Since it is an aerophone, it is produced, the sound is produced by the vibration of a body part, in this case, a trumpet player's lips, which is actually surprisingly similar to the sound of a fart. which I will demonstrate. That is how a trumpet sound is made. It goes through these tubings and travels at a certain speed, and these buttons right here that move up and down just change the length of the tubing. You see, originally, back all the way down to the 1900s, the trumpets used to have to go different lengths. They were long, 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 just to create different pitches. That is the only way they could change. But now, when the invention of the valves came along, there are holes in these cylinders that produce a different combination of airflow so that the pitch of the instrument can actually change. The trumpets have been around since before the ages. They have a versatility to their name. One of the greatest trumpet players was Wynton Marsalis, born in October 1961. Or actually, yes, 1961, I'm sorry. The reason he is so great is because he took what Louis Armstrong, the grandfather or the father of jazz, he took that, made it all that it was great, and then he crossed over to the border of concert music, symphonic music, and orchestra music, which gave the trumpet its grand versatility. You see, the rumor was that, yes, a trumpet can play in all sorts of types of songs, but can a trumpet player play all sorts of types of songs? Well, Wynton Marsalis proved this. And he said, yes, I can, and I can do it better than you. That was his saying. That was the way he performed. He was able to cross over to different types of music and perform at an excelling level. Now, I've just talked about the basics of the trumpet, the history, the players, how it works. But why and how is it so special to me? Well, through my years of experience and research, I'm just going to show you. A familiar tune that all of you have encountered at one point in your lives. Happy birthday, guys.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.